The following podcast contains adult themes and adult language. Listener discretion advised.
And although we joke, if you or someone you know is affected by or a victim of domestic violence, dial 1-800-799-7233 or visit the National Domestic Violence Hotline's website, thehotline.org.
But it's always the husband, it's always the husband, it's always the husband. I'm gonna keep it.
Hi, everybody. This is Sarah.
And this is Megan.
And you are listening to It's Always the Husband podcast.
Welcome.
Thank you for listening to our podcast.
That's right. This is a podcast. We're a true crime comedy podcast where we tell horrific stories about jackasses and jackasses and
a human jackass.
Right.
That kills the spouse.
Yeah.
Instead of just getting a divorce or separating from your spouse like a normal, the jackasses kill the spouse.
Yeah. Yeah. So that's what we talk about. And we also share about our lives.
Oh, true.
And we're sorry about that.
Yeah.
Some people just fast forward through
Yeah, just fast forward through it.
But to others,
some listen.
They love it.
Yeah. It
Okay,
depends
so
on your personality and
do
your
what you
listening
will.
ability. I don't know.
The cat hair is going up my nose from this.
I'm sorry.
Microphone.
There's cat hair everywhere. And dog hair and glass because a glass pumpkin fell in my head in here.
Oh.
That was neither here nor there, but yes, a glass pumpkin fell in my head and shattered about.
And that was the morning that we had to go do the amazing Project Pink event, and we had to be there at noon to set up, and Sarah came and sat down, and I was like, why do you look so pretty? You look gorgeous. And she was like, it's probably because I have shards of glass glittering off my face and hair because a pumpkin just fell on my
head and shattered. And I didn't get cut at all, but I had to open the closet that's in our studio that is Rachel's bedroom.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
I opened the closet, and the fall decor glass pumpkin that's on the top shelf teetered off, and I was looking at getting our spare mics out, and it fell on my head. You'd think like a prince would appear or something from Cinderella, but no. Nope.
Just a glass pumpkin on your fucking head.
And I yelled for my husband 3 times because glass was literally surrounding me and on me. And I yelled, Jamie, 3 times, screamed it. But my husband was upstairs, and his music was so loud, he didn't hear me at all. So I had to back up very slowly because I couldn't even put my hands down. Right. There's shards everywhere. And then walk upstairs like a mummy, like I was just not trying to move. I'm sure getting glass shards everywhere in the house. Then I went in the shower and just washed with my pajamas on, washed everything off. It's like, and then I said, did you not hear me yelling? A pumpkin fell on my head. And he just stared at me. He didn't care. He didn't give 2 shits. Anyway, but we do have a new Patreon.
We do?
Yeah, her name is Jessica.
Hi, Jessica.
So thank you.
Thank you, Jessica.
Yeah, you can listen to special episodes only for you, Patreons.
We are excited for you.
Thank you so much for helping us.
And we'll be sending you some stickers.
Yes.
We're currently looking for
a new sticker
company.
So
if you know of any,
getting some more stickers.
Let us know.
Right.
We got a few left, but
and they go to our Patreons first.
Yes. So. All right.
Let's go to our glitter in the shitter. Something that gets us through our typically, shittier week.
Yeah, it's a real shitty week.
But I said our Project Pink at Charlie's. We hosted Project Pink, which is at a local restaurant in our town.
Charlie's on Pryor.
Yes,
so it's
and it's
right
a wonderful restaurant with delicious food, owned by wonderful people. Mm-hmm. And the charity was called Hope Chest for breast cancer. And we raised $18,000.
Oh, my God.
a few hours.
Yeah.
And so we got to host a fashion show because we are fashionistas.
Very fashionable.
And when a brand, I didn't know what it was, I just said, how the hell do you say this name? we are such experts with brands.
Very couture.
13 women who have either
couture.
fought cancer and beat it or are currently fighting and almost done. We're modeling. And they looked great.
Yes.
In the clothes from local boutiques that styled them. And these boutiques in our town are actually very stylish. Almost high-end clothes for our town.
Yeah.
It's not like the boutique you walk in, like I said, in Niçoise. And I said, this looks like a lower-end garage sale. Where you buy like the oversized giant T-shirt that says something like "I've gone fishing," and it shows like, or "I've gone beering," or it shows someone catching a beer instead of a fish, and it's a horrible T-shirt. No, these are very good clothing boutiques,
and it's just such a great day.
It is.
We cry. Some of the stories are just unbelievable, but we always cry, and then we try to laugh through it and make it a great day. And there's an auction afterwards. There's raffles. So we made so much money. We did put the link on our Facebook and our Instagram.
Did you see Sarah Hanley? She donated. And we have to thank her again.
Sarah,
she's the reason we have our new mics and mic stand.
Yes.
And she got us way past our goal.
She is amazing.
We love her.
And it was just her birthday. And I just can't.
She's a gift that keeps giving.
And literally giving to these women who are fighting breast cancer.
Yeah. So. It's a great, great charity that helps women out with the your day-to-day life as you're fighting cancer. Like helping you get your groceries, get your kids to their fucking events.
Wherever they need to go so you can go do your chemo. Help
your
rides.
husband learn how to buy fucking groceries as you're doing your treatments.
Babysitters for when you do have to go get your treatments. So you don't have to bring your kids.
So you can look it up and donate to it. It's wonderful. And the woman who started it is fabulous.
Yeah, she's so awesome.
All right. And then we have...
So that's a great glitter.
Oh, yeah. You have a glitter. I'm sorry.
You didn't even give two shits about me.
I didn't care a fuck about it.
No. Well, obviously that's my glitter too. But another thing that I just got, I always use those Revlon volume hair dryers.
Yes.
Because my hair is very curly, and then that's the only way I can get it straight is if I pull it out and use the hottest heat ever. That's like close to fire, but not quite. So the Lange brand was having their sale.
Yes,
and it's
they
like
have the teardrop like ones.
Yes, so I bought a teardrop. I took a chance and I bought the teardrop design.
Do those work?
The Volume Elevate is what it's called, and it's bonkers. I love it.
Oh, thank goodness!
It goes like
looks like it would really work
right to your part or like to wherever, and it just pulls it out. Oh my god, and it makes it straight, and it's gorgeous.
Oh, that's good to know, because they do look like they're a cool shape, like they would really work.
Yeah.
But then you never know.
Well, it just makes it so that you can get closer. When you have curly hair, sometimes if you don't get close enough to your head, you'll get like a little kink, and then your hair will be straight. And so this just like goes right in, and it's amazing.
That's good to know.
Yep.
I just have straight hair that's glued to my head. I don't know.
Yeah.
I just need volume.
Yeah. And this, I mean, I always have volume.
You always have volume.
Because I have 9 tons of hair, but
that's good.
Yeah.
All right.
So I do love it. The La Volume Elevate teardrop design.
I love it.
Give it a shot. I think they're still on sale. I don't know. They always, like every 2 weeks, they have a sale. It seems like so.
Just wait 2 weeks.
Just wait it out. Yeah.
And we also have Instagram. We have social media. You can follow us on and see pictures of. I've been a real shit show and not gotten a lot of pictures. Glitter we usually put up there. I will put up the past glitters. I just got to get my, I got to function.
Yeah.
I got to take my pills.
Yeah. Yeah.
And function. We have a Facebook group. We have a Facebook page. Our group is full of, you can join our group and it's full of funny assholes.
Oh, such assholes.
That have very good senses of humor because
Yes.
it's dark and it's funny and they can take a joke really well.
Yeah.
And it's my kind of humor and I love it. And it's gross. And I adore all of it. Except I couldn't even look at it today because I've been messing around with my password. Well, I had to redo. I had some weird things. So I had to log in and log out. And then I was fucked. So we finally got into the Instagram. But my Facebook I finally fixed. So I didn't get to pick one. But there was one I was going to put in. So I'm going to pick my own again.
Oh, my God.
Because I am a trash.
Narcissist.
But this one is a Twitter.
Okay.
And it's an experiment that maybe us women can try if we have the balls.
Okay.
I think a lot of us do.
Okay.
So it's from this Anna.
Is it like your vigilante cutting
It's similar.
dicks off?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's from Anna Breslaw.
Okay.
She says, my sister is doing an experiment. Whenever men walk toward her, she doesn't move out of the way first. So far, she's collided with 28 men. And then someone responds and says, okay. But after seeing this, I started doing it too. And it's amazing how many men I've run into because they expected me to move first. And then a bunch of women underneath are like, gonna try it. And I thought, why do men just keep... I've never really noticed, but I guess women always probably do move out of the way first. But I guess I haven't noticed, and men would just plow them down. Men should move out of the way.
Yeah, they should.
If a woman is walking, move out of the way, you dick.
Are you going to do it tomorrow?
Well, then I'll probably run into some gross pig. I don't walk, when do I walk on a street?
You don't
I'd have
like
to go outside.
Touch people. Yeah.
And I don't like to touch people, but and Jamie's supposed to if you're with a husband or partner that's bigger than you or whatever, they're supposed to walk on the side with the cars. So if a car jumps the curb, it hits them.
God.
I walk on the side with the cars.
What a treat that would be.
Yeah.
Wow.
So I thought, I guess I never
interesting.
noticed.
Now I'm going to look.
I know. I wonder, like in New York, where people
I
just
should have looked
walking
when I was in New York City.
on
If anyone
sidewalks.
goes to New York
Yeah.
City or if anyone lives
So ladies,
there,
if you notice this,
if you live in a
let
city,
us know. Yeah.
try it and let us know what happens. And then you'll have to post it so they can post.
I know.
Okay, once you can get in. All right, so my favorite is by Amy Lynn Lonergan, and I'm going to try to play it for you, and we'll see if it works. But it was the little dice. Did you see it? It's like a little dice meme video. Okay, just listen because it's so perfect for us.
Want to start a club with me? It's just like a club of people who have fucking had it, and we nap. It's like mostly a napping club. Does anyone want to start a club with me?
That's a nap. I'll do that. A napping club is right up my alley.
For people who have fucking had it and they're ready to start a napping club. And I thought, that's us.
My every afternoon. I get home from work and I say, I fucking had it. And then I take a nap.
You took one today. I was like, are you ready? And you were like, okay,
this was my day all day.
I'm ready.
What month does winter start? Not many new. Not many new. Many teens new.
Then did you have to teach them about the winter solstice?
Yes. And
That was the
I had
lesson.
the answer up on the board. And the teens didn't know.
Is it like
Maybe
December
3.
21st
Yes.
or something? Yeah. Oh my God. See,
But they
even
just had
I
to
knew
say
it.
the month December.
Oh, they couldn't
Couldn't
do that.
it.
Oh dear. Well, the other thing I wanted to mention from our Facebook group is that because we do have Patreon, and that's basically how we keep bringing this to you. We have a member in our group. Her name is Wendy Carruthers Taylor, and she posted a picture of the very sexy Harry Styles. Now, Sarah could give or take Harry Styles. I am in love with him. I brought
He's no Burt Reynolds.
I brought my sister and my daughter and her best friend to Harry Styles a couple of years ago. And we were obsessed with him. His dimples are out. I mean, I'm out of control when I see him. So I am trying to talk Sarah into a Harry Styles tier. If I do it, I need at least a few people to join so I can prove to her that it wasn't just a waste of our time.
And I have to remember how to do it here. So that's
that's mostly why she's resisting, because she's like, shit, I forgot the password.
Yeah.
I don't know how to do it. So we're going to add a special Harry Styles tier, and we'll let you know when that goes live. And you can join to support
I don't even have a John Ritter tier.
Oh, well, we should add a John Ritter tier too.
I'll add a Harry Styles.
Okay, perfect.
All right.
Just for a year. We'll have a Harry for a year, then we'll have a John Ritter for a year.
That's all right. We're looking at Dad Harry.
Then we'll have Ricardo Montalban for a year.
Oh, my goodness.
Then we'll have, I don't know, Larry Hagman.
Larry Hagman would be great. Oh, man. All right.
I can make
We'll
it
do
happen.
that for sure.
Okay.
So this episode, we watched a People magazine investigates.
I didn't even know this was a show.
I think we did one before.
We did.
Yeah. I think. But
that lady at the beginning did kind of look or seem
I think
familiar.
we did, or I've watched one before.
Okay.
I don't know. But this is season 8, so there's a lot of them.
Mm-hmm.
Episode 3, and I think season 8 is new. So if you've watched the People magazines, these are a new season.
And it did look. Has this always been on Discovery Plus? Because it said new, or did that just mean new?
It means
episodes?
new episodes.
Okay.
I think.
Okay.
This episode appealed to my eye with the title, and then I further investigated. The title is Sex, Clowns, Murder. So you have to look when it says sex, clowns, murder. Are people having sex with the clowns?
Yeah. Are the clowns murdering?
Yeah. Are the clowns murdered after having sex? Are they sex clowns? Like hooker clowns? Do you buy the clowns to murder sex hookers? We didn't know, so we had to watch. So this episode is,
and we were wrong on
on a lot of them.
Yeah.
We're gonna go to Florida, so already you know it's fucked.
Oh my God, Florida!
And has there ever been another character named Florida except Florida Evans from Good Times?
No, I don't know anyone.
I don't know. She was a good character.
She was Flo.
She was a good mom because she just had to give one look in those kids. Except
and
JJ was he was a little wild.
Janet Jackson.
She was the neighbor.
Oh,
she was a neighbor girl adopted by Walona.
Oh,
the neighbor friend.
I thought she was the sister.
No. Anyway.
Everyone's like, what the hell are they talking about?
This is a show called Good Times.
Good Times, you guys.
All right. So we're in Florida in a very, very wealthy town. It's the western part of Palm Beach County. It's called Wellington, and there's a shit ton of horses, and it's horse people. And again, they're very wealthy.
So they have acreages,
yes.
Like they have a lot of land.
And they're equestrian people. Mm-hmm. In 1987, the brand new development in Wellington is being built. And 37-year-old Marlene Warren and her husband, Michael, they move into the Aero Club. That's what the development is named, I guess. And I think it's maybe because you can have your own little mini private planes there too, because Michael actually bought one later, which made sense. I think you could have your own runway on your property. But it was a very upscale private neighborhood, and so Marlene Warren and her husband, and they had 2 sons. They move into a very nice home in this community. And we actually see a real son, one of the real sons. His name is Joseph Aarons. And at this time, I figured he's around 55, but he looked far older because he has been kicked in the dick by life.
Gone through it.
He has gone through it and into life's anus and out. But I liked him, and he had the bluest eyes.
Oh my
you've
God,
ever seen.
yes, and he was so cute.
He was
in
the
his
cutest.
younger years. Oh my God, he was like a hottie.
He
when
would
he was...
like he looked like the teen from every surf
Yeah.
movie or every 80s movie, like the stuck up.
Yeah, he looked like a
guy,
prep.
the preppy
Yeah.
boy from every teen movie. That's what he looked like. But he described his mom as just like the perfect mom, and she probably was. Like she was super fun, and she danced around the kitchen, and everybody loved her. And she was
like,
just
when it was cleaning day on Saturday, she would just crank the music so loud, and we would all dance and clean the house. And I was like, if I did that, my kids would be like, "Fuck you," and slam the doors, and put their headphones on, and ignore
but
me.
She just kind of had, he said she was super positive and fun, and she was really pretty. Really, really pretty.
She was pretty.
Now, her and Michael owned multiple businesses. Many of them were rental properties that Marlene managed. Michael owned Bargain Motors, which was like a shitty car lot that did sales and rentals.
But apparently they did enough to get them a prime lot.
Hell yes.
In Florida. Arrowland or whatever.
So the two sons were named Joe and John, and they were brothers like 2 years apart. And Joe said their real dad, because their last name was Aarons.
Yeah.
Well, Marlene was Warren. Their real dad died when they were like babies.
Very young. Yeah.
And Michael married their mom. And Joe said, he just always was there, and they called him dad, and he was just their dad. That's just how it was. And he was doing a good job as so far. Now, around this time, 1988, 89, Joe and John are like 20, like 1920. They're adults, but I think they're still living at the estate, because why wouldn't you?
Yeah.
But they're adults, so they are kind of like empty nesters, really, because the boys maybe are going to college around town, or I don't know, but they're adults. So Marlene and Michael do their own thing. Michael buys his plane. He actually buys some racehorses, and he goes to the track a lot. Marlene decides, you know what? I'm going to start painting some hobo clowns. Now, the painting... She paints multiple hobo clowns. And the paintings are really good.
They're really good.
Like, they're really good, but they're terrifying hobo clowns. Like, where the clown's like a hobo.
Yes.
And then one looks like a John Wayne Gacy hiding in the fog, and it's horrifying. But they're excellent. Yeah, she was obsessed with clowns. She loved clowns because she said clowns show all emotion. I'm like, do they? I mean, because it's the smiles painted on their face. They have one.
All I can think about is now when I think of clowns is baskets. Is that what that show was? With the cloons.
Yes.
The cloons.
Yeah.
The rodeo clown.
With Zach Galifianakis.
So sad. Yeah. I mean, it was like the clown.
Yes. So she's painting her hobo clowns. And again, these are great paintings. But, I mean, it's something out of a Stephen King.
Yeah. No, they're good. Like they're
excellent.
If you liked pictures of scary clowns,
like these are top notch.
These could be in a museum.
Yeah.
Of a scary hobo clown museum.
Oh yeah. She was talented.
Yeah.
In 1988 though, shit just started for this family, like the curse, whatever they had kicked in, the Kennedy curse that maybe they were related.
The curse of the hobo clown.
Yeah. And shit went south fast for this family. First tragedy, John, the older brother of Joe, dies horribly in a car crash. And Joe, the brother, is obviously devastated. Marlene is, devastated.
Yes.
But he says she had to be a mom still for Joe, and so stayed strong to try to keep her family going. And he was really struggling with it because his brother was like his best friend. They were really close, and he didn't know how he was even going to go on. And he wondered how, his mom, that's your kid. How do you even go on? But she did. She just stayed strong to be there for Joe.
Yeah.
Then we get to 1990, barely like a year and a half later, and it's Memorial Day weekend. Joe said he's 21 about now. He had a bunch of friends come for the weekend and stay at his estate. And it was the morning, and Marlene's making breakfast for them, and they're watching TV. And he said it's like between 9 and 10, and they're all eating breakfast, and they're in the kitchen or in the front living room by the main door. He said the main door has like double doors and it's glass, and they're all just hanging out and laughing and having fun. And the doorbell rings, and Joe says, my friend said, hey, there's someone at the door. Well, duh. And Marlene says, I'll get it. She jumps up to get the door, and Joe hears her open the door, and she says, oh, how pretty. And what she sees is a clown standing there. A clown. A full clown in a full clown onesie outfit that's multicolored, and a clown wig, carrying a wicker basket of flowers and 2 balloons. And
it says, like, what does the balloon say? Like, you're so special.
Yeah, you're so special. And then Joe said, I heard a pop, and I thought one of the goddamn balloons popped. But he looks, and his mom just falls backwards onto the floor. And he's thinking, what the hell? Then he sees the clown just walk in.
He sees the clown.
Yeah. Like from It.
Yeah.
The clown creepily walks in and stands over, carrying a red balloon. This is from It.
Yeah.
Walks and stands over his mom, bends down and turns the head and stares at Joe. And he's like looking at the clown, staring at him. The creepiest thing you've ever seen is a fucking clown standing over your mom, bent over, staring at your face, and your mom's laying on the ground. And he still has no fucking idea what's going on.
Yeah.
Then the clown stands up and walks out calmly. Joe then is like, what the fuck? Runs to his mom, looks at her, and she's like gurgling blood out of her mouth. He notices her teeth are shattered.
Yeah.
She's struggling to breathe, and then it hits him. That wasn't a pop. That was gunshot.
Yeah.
And he turns and looks at the clown just slowly, casually walking into a white Chrysler LeBaron.
Yep.
And gets in the car and just drives away as slow as fuck and just gets into a lane and like nothing's happened. And Joe is just like totally like in shock. And so he's
fucking believable.
I would be totally like, a clown comes to the door and a clown does this? A clown?
A clown?
A clown. What? I would be in total disbelief, like shock, like this didn't happen.
I'm sure. Yeah.
What happened here? And his friends were all standing there like, what the hell? And so
But then the worst thing is that it's a clown and your mom loved it.
Yes. That you knew your mom loved clowns, and she was super excited to open the door and saw a clown.
Like, I bet your brain can't even make sense.
You can't put that together that a goddamn clown was there. So Joe hurries up and calls 911, but then tells his friends, stay with my mom. He gets in his car and is going like 100 trying to find this white LeBaron all over the neighborhood, because he said, I'm just going to crash into the car and get these people, which is what I feel like I would do. I'm like, I have to find this person. But police get to the house while Joe's out just like tearing across the neighborhood trying to find this car. Marlene is alive, but unresponsive.
Yes.
And it's a gunshot straight into her mouth. Awful. So Joe gets back. He can't find the LeBaron. He gets back from the chase. He tells the police it was a goddamn clown.
Mm-hmm.
And they're like, what? He's like, it was a clown in a multicolored clown costume. And then he says it was a tall manly
Tall
clown.
clown.
A thin, tall clown with manly features. 6 foot tall, maybe, with an orange nose, white painted face, wearing fucking army boots in an orange curly wig. And the police are like, what?
Can you imagine taking that report and just being freaked
Like
the fuck out?
Like a it.
Who is dressing up like
Pennywise
a clown?
came and
Yes.
killed, because Pennywise came and killed someone. Joe also said when the clown looked him right in the eyes, there was big brown eyes. And the police look around for like a shell casing. There's none, so they think a revolver was used. Yep. And Marlene goes to the hospital and they get her stable. So Joe decides to call Michael, his stepdad. And Michael was going to the horse track with some friends, and he had a car phone at the time. So Joe calls his car phone.
In 87?
Yeah, rich.
Jesus.
He goes, Mom's been shot. And Michael goes, what? And Joe just says, come home. And he's like, what? Okay. And that's kind of all Michael said. The police, though, while they're there, they collect the wicker basket with the flowers, the 2 balloons. They swab everything. They're taking the rugs. They're just trying to take everything they can.
Well, thank God.
Yeah. And they
tried.
did.
Yeah.
And then when she gets to the hospital, she goes to surgery. The bullet entered her mouth, broke her teeth, and then lodged right in her spine. Like right under, like at the base of her neck.
Yeah.
Or base of her skull. And it's a .38 caliber. And then after surgery, she's still totally unresponsive. Police at the hospital speak with Michael, and they learn he has an airtight alibi because he was with his car with his friends. So,
and they said too, like they're like, usually we think husband right away.
Yeah.
But it couldn't have been him.
Yeah, he was in this car.
Right.
And so they ask him, well, who would want to kill her? And he says, well, we might have, she's in charge of all the rentals. Maybe there's an angry tenant. Like, wouldn't you want to know more? Like, he's kind of just being whatever. And so the police talk to the tenants and see, she's had to do some evictions, but the tenants actually adore her. They love her, and they find out about her death, and they're all really sad.
They think Marlene's the best.
Yeah. And then the police learn, actually, of her immense love of clowns, and they think someone knew. It has to be someone who knew her, that knew.
Because it's just too coincidental.
She loves clowns, and that she would open the door for a clown.
That a clown painter.
No one else would open the door for a clown.
No.
Everybody else would be like, fuck you! What are you doing on this property, clown? Go fuck yourself, clown. What's this clown doing here, everybody? Anyone order a goddamn clown with flowers and the 2 goddamn balloons? Who did this? Who did it? I think you want the neighbors. They're fucked. Go away, clown. No clowns here. There's a sign, god damn it. But she opened it for clowns because she loves them. Oh, nobody likes clowns, right? No one.
No. Oh,
but then this was the saddest part.
Well, good because I'm laughing hysterically.
Sorry.
Okay.
But poor Joe is like sitting with his mom.
Oh,
But then Michael yanks the cord after just 2 days. I'm like, couldn't they give her a little more time for but maybe there was, they take her off life support so soon. She just couldn't, there was no hope. But I felt like there's swelling or something. Maybe she could have come around. I don't know.
I mean, where it wasn't her spine, though, I wonder if it just severed her brain stem
maybe.
and everything.
It
didn't look good, but
I know. I just thought, gosh.
Yeah, I mean, I guess she was still breathing.
I just thought, gosh, give her a chance. Maybe she's a fighter. I don't know. But of course, the community now is in a panic and telling there's a clown killing folk around the whole community, and everyone's nervous, and the police are like, God damn.
And then
it."
I'm sure dumb, stupid jackasses were dressing up like clowns
yes.
and being like, let's go scare the shit out of people.
Right. I'm going to go scare my girlfriend.
The
and then,
teenagers
yeah.
with no frontal
Right.
lobes are
None.
like, I got a clown
Yeah.
outfit.
I'm going to get a boner in this clown outfit and go ask that girl to go out with me. Idiots. But good news happens. A few days later, police find that goddamn white LeBaron at a grocery store.
Yeah, they do.
They search the vehicle and they find orange pube hairs from a clown wig and long brown hair. And they're like, these orange pube hairs are from a clown wig, I bet. So the clown was in this LeBaron.
And this long,
Yeah.
straight hair was from a pube. No.
Right. And someone with long pubes. Then the police say, well, someone had to rent that or buy that goddamn clown costume. So they look at all these costume
it was
shops.
May.
Yeah.
It wasn't even close
No.
to Halloween.
So there was one costume shop in town that had the most variety of costumes. And they go to the shop, and the woman who was running it, and they went to her and said, did you rent a goddamn clown costume recently? And she's like, hell yeah, I did. And so they said, well, tell us about it. And she said, well, this was like 2 days before, or like 4 days before. So she's like, 4 days ago, I closed my shop, and then this huge bitch comes to the door. And she knocks on the door, and I say, bitch, we're closed. And she's yelling at the door, I need a clown costume. And I say, bitch, time's up. I'm going home.
Yeah.
We are closed. She's like, I need a clown costume. And so she lets her in. And the lady, she said she picked out a lovely half pink, half yellow, orange clown costume with a lovely neck fringe.
With a fringy collar.
And then she picked out an orange pube wig, an orange nose, and white clown makeup.
White face paint.
And the bitch was huge. She was really tall. She had long brown hair, big brown eyes. She was wearing men's clothes and army boots. And the police are like, oh, all right, we have some similarities to the long brown hair we found in the car. And there was the clown was
And
tall and thin.
Fact that the
and
boy,
the army boots.
that Joe said it was a manly clown. He was really tall.
Right. And the army boots and the brown eyes. So then they go and find that a grocery store sold the balloons in a basket to
Just like the
person,
one she
yes.
had gotten. Yeah.
and they go to the grocery store people, and the two employees said, yes, a huge bitch came in here. And she had brown hair and big brown eyes, and she bought both these balloons and a basket of flowers. And so the police went, is the killer clown a huge bitch? Is it a woman? Well, of course. A man's not going to dress as a goddamn clown. Maybe they would. I guess John Wayne Gacy did.
Oh my God, I'm going to pee my pants again. I already peed
Oh,
once
you
today.
did pee already today.
God.
So poor Joe is having to deal with, trying to help out the police the best he can by trying to give as many details as he can remember and burying his goddamn mom at the same time and being terrified that he's going to still be targeted. Are they targeting his family?
Right.
Are they? So he goes to stay with his grandma.
And he's probably still not over the death of his brother.
Oh,
that
yeah, he's
only
still
happened
mourning.
2
Yeah.
years before this. Yeah.
But he tells police one more thing. He said, well, the week before this happened, my mom said that she's going to divorce Michael. And police are like, oh, well, good God. That's really important.
Piece of the puzzle. Yeah.
And they learn that everything about the rentals is in Marlene's name, with Michael being the sole beneficiary. Why not the boys? I don't know.
I do think that she probably just thought that he would give them to the boy. You know what I mean?
She probably did.
Take care of the boys because he
Yeah.
had been their dad for
I guess if something happened to
their
her,
whole
yes.
entire lives. I think
Yeah.
Phil's my beneficiary. I would just
Right.
think that he would give it to our kids when he...
I suppose.
Yeah.
Hopefully he doesn't kill you and take it.
That fucker.
But police learn now that the White LeBaron had been a rental, but a rental by a company called Payless Rentals, not Payless
Not
shoes.
shoes, I know.
This couple rented it, and then they were done with their trip, whatever the hell they were doing. And they called what they thought was Payless Rentals, and someone answered and said, well, our lot is closed, so just leave it, and leave your keys in the visor.
Leave it at 4th and Main, and
Yeah.
we'll pick it up.
And just leave your keys in there and then get the hell away from it. And they're like, well, thanks. But Payless never got the car back, and they reported it stolen 4 weeks before the shooting. And the police go to the couple and they say, well, what the hell did you do? Did you bring it back to Payless? And they said, well, we called this number. And so they show an ad in the yellow pages. And the ad at the very top has quotes, and it says a bargain auto rentals in quotes, and then Payless
Really big.
is huge. And so what this is, it's Michael's ad. His company is Bargain Auto Rentals, and he put it in quotes, so it just looked like it was a quote from someone. And then he was just saying you pay less, but he put it big, so it looked like Payless Company. So people would call that number thinking it was Payless Autos when they were really calling Bargain Auto. They would return their car to Bargain Auto when it was a Payless rental, and Michael would steal it.
He was a fucking crook.
Yes, and he stole shit ton of Payless rentals that way. And so police then go to Bargain Motors and learn that Michael fucking owns it, who is obviously the murder victim's husband, and learn that Bargain Auto Rentals is involved, and police are like, this is like, obviously this is fucked. Yeah. Then they learn that everyone at Bargain Auto Rentals knows that Michael Warren is fucking the repo agent, a huge bitch named Sheila Keene. And police see this huge bitch, and they're like, holy shit, this bitch is huge. She's wearing army boots and men's clothes, and she has long brown hair and big brown eyes, and she's 6-something, and she carries a gun because she's in repo. And that's dangerous. She's a huge bitch.
Beth from Dog the Bounty Hunter.
She's Beth from Dog the Bounty Hunter. And she's going to take your car back and beat the shit out of you. Now, she owns her repo company with her husband, but she's getting divorced and separated from her husband. She lives in her own apartment, and everyone everywhere knows she's porking Michael.
Yeah.
So the police bring the huge bitch Sheila and Michael into the police station, and they say, are you two porking? And they go, no, we're not. We're not at all. No, you two aren't having sex
We
and
never
fucking.
have.
No. Oh my, no. We are just co-workers. No. So everyone that works with you, everyone that knows you, everybody we've
They're
talked
all
to said you're in an
saying
obvious
this.
affair,
Yeah.
and they've seen you, intimate or whatever, hugging and kissing. No.
Never happened.
And so Sheila tries to give herself a shitty alibi, saying she was repoing cars at the time of the murder, but she doesn't even say where or what cars she's repoing. And then police say,
They're like, where were you? Oh,
I don't know. I was at Disney World. And then they say, did you have a gun? No. But yes. What kind of gun was it? A 38 special. They're like, that's the same kind of gun that shot Marlene. And she says, oh my God, are you saying I could have done it? I need to ask for an attorney right now. And so then they have to end the interview because she said that. But she talks like she's an idiot because she is.
Yeah.
Well, she's clearly severely mental. But then they take Sheila's picture to the costume and the grocery store workers, and they pick Sheila out and say, this is the huge bitch that came. Police go to Sheila's apartment and they find orange pube fibers from the wig all over her apartment, white clown makeup, the combat boots she was wearing, but they do not find the gun or the costume. So the police say, well, we need more. They take samples of her hair and the samples of the hair from LeBaron, and they send it to the FBI to try to find a match.
And then they remember it's 1987.
Or this is 1990, but...
Oh, it's 1990 and there still isn't
nothing,
shit for anything.
They can't do shit. Joe hears about the Michael-Sheila affair in the papers, Joe the son, and he doesn't believe it at this point. He's like, no...
Because it was his dad.
Yeah, my dad wouldn't do that and wouldn't murder. Like, he's like, no, this is no... But then there's this weird side plot where some weird douche in jail named Edward Barr, who looks more like Isaiah Edwards.
Why did he do this?
Yeah.
This just...
And he confesses to it, although guy is like a 300-pound, 6'4" man with a beard. This was not the man in the clown costume.
No.
The clown didn't have a beard, and the clown was very thin and not a 300-pound, 6'4" man. So that goes nowhere. Why did they waste their time?
Yeah, I guess he was just trying to plead as something else to get out of. What did they? I didn't even really understand it.
I didn't either. Why would they give him the time of day, you dumbass?
And why would you admit to murdering someone if you're trying to get out of? I mean, like, what's worse? What are you trying to get out of? Murder's the worst thing. Anyway, they figured out there's no way you can put white clown makeup over his giant
huge beard. You're an idiot.
Grizzly Adams beard.
Well, his Mr. Edwards beard.
And he's saying, "Oh, they took was a fan of mine."
That's what he was singing in the cell.
Combed his hair with a wave.
Dad with a
toothache in his heel.
So now Joe, though, Michael was promising Joe half of Marlene's insurance all this time so that Joe could, get on his feet and start his life. And Joe's waiting and waiting and waiting and waiting.
It's been 2 years.
Yeah, Michael's saying, it's not come yet. It's not come. So Joe calls the insurance company and they said, we sent that money 3 months after
the murder.
And Joe's like, what? And so then he knows Michael's a fucker. And he knows Michael did it. And he's pissed. So now we get to 1992, and Michael Warren, since the police have been investigating so much, they find out he is a fucking fraud that's been stealing cars, rolling back odometers, and racketeering. And in 1994, he goes to trial, and he gets 9 years in jail, but he only actually ends up serving 4 because Florida's fucked.
Yeah.
Joe at this time is trying to move on and letting Michael go, but he has so many issues and he starts doing drugs.
He has horrible PTSD.
Drinking. Yeah.
And can't get his shit together and was left with nothing.
And his whole family's dead.
Yes. And he's an orphan and he doesn't even have any siblings.
And he's struggling and struggling and struggling. And he calls the police every year to say, what is new about my mother's case? And it's always nothing. And he loses it and he just can't get it together. So by 2003, decades later, Palm Beach County gets and there's rich people all over the place.
Everywhere.
I feel like, Jesus Christ. Why can't we? I don't know. So they get a grant for a cold case unit. 2016, they get to Marlene's case and they send in DNA that they have.
The hairs and the pubes,
right?
And the hairs.
The orange fibers that they found all in the apartments and the balloons and at the scene and in the car, all are totally chemically identical. And the car long brown hair and Sheila's hair are also DNA matched. So Sheila is arrested in August 2017. So this is 27 years later.
Long afterwards.
Yeah. And they go to pick her. The police go and arrest her and put her in the back of the car.
Where was she? Were they still in Florida or was she?
Well, they were in Virginia. So
Virginia.
When Michael gets out of prison, he and Sheila get married. And so the police are like, we knew you were having an affair the whole time, dicks.
Right.
And they were like, we were. And Michael and Sheila move to Virginia and open a restaurant. And then Sheila, I read outside that Sheila changed her name to Debbie, or had people call her Debbie.
What?
And that at the restaurant one Halloween, she actually would dress up as clown.
No.
Yes. And then everyone at the restaurant had a rule like the boss. Did you ever hear the boss killed the husband's ex-wife? And that was like a whole rumor at the restaurant. Like everyone knew. And nobody like,
oh my God.
And so when she gets arrested, she points to Michael and says, well, aren't you arresting
What about
him too?
him? Yeah.
Like he was totally part of it.
And then the cops were like,
Yeah, like they know he
Now
is.
we know,
They just don't have
They didn't have any evidence to
right
tie
that he
him to
was
it.
like
Yeah.
anything on or anything. But
She
they
was gonna have
know
to give it
he
up.
was totally
Yeah.
part of it. And she's like, you have to arrest him too. So police go to Michael and say, so, well, if you talk a bit, we can reduce her sentence. And he says nothing and just walks away like a total dick.
He doesn't give a
No,
shit.
he doesn't give a shit about her or
any
anybody.
of his wives.
So then they go to trial and they were going to go for the death penalty. But then the defense team learns that the evidence was in a bag that got torn. And so then that causes a whole bunch of problem because there was a hole in the evidence
God
bag.
damn
Well, it's been
it.
27 years.
I know.
So then they get to a plea deal where she admits she's guilty and she gets 13 years. Although the whole time in jail, she was saying she just had to say that she's really not guilty. That's what she was saying. Fuck you.
Yeah.
And then she only really served 7 years because Florida. And so Joe is just pissed that the clown that killed his mom in cold blood at her fucking front door gets 7 years after living free for 27.
Yeah.
She gets 7 years. He's so pissed because an evidence bag had a hole in it.
Right.
So he's like rage filled.
Yeah.
And this bitch, huge bitch Sheila, got out November 2nd this month. She's free.
Ugh.
She's free. This idiot murderer.
And Mike
never got to jail. And he's just a criminal, fraudster, racketeering, murdering asshole that planned all of this, as everyone knew, as the police knew,
took all the
day
money.
one, and took all her
Didn't
money.
give the son any.
Yeah. Didn't let Joe just suffer his whole life. Let his first wife, die for his selfishness, and his second wife go to jail for his crime. I mean, he made her do it, but
Maybe she'll dress up like something he likes now and shoot him.
well, I
in the
hope so.
teeth.
But she seems like a complete fucking fool. Maybe don't go with a man who makes you kill women. He might not be nice to you. You dumb bitch,
Yeah.
cunt. Clown cunt. That's what your clown name is. Cunty, the clown. Idiot. Oh. Hi, I'm Cunty the clown. I go and shoot my boyfriend's wives. Oh. It's free.
Sucks. Yeah.
She sucks hard.
And she's free.
And the huge bitch thought she could disguise herself by dyeing her dark hair blonde, but she did it obviously with a home kit because it was clown ass orange. Like when you're brassy orange ass
she
hair.
did. So like all the people throughout the story who were like the clown had these giant brown eyes, and then the costume lady was like, yeah, she had these huge brown eyes. She did have really big brown eyes, and even 100 years later when she got arrested, I was like, yeah, that's her.
And then in her mugshot, she is smiling like
Yeah.
she's in the happiest she's ever been.
Yes.
She's smiling like a sociopath.
Yeah.
Well, she is.
Cunty the clown ain't
Cunty
right.
the clown
in
is
the
a
head.
fucking asshole.
Mhm.
Well, that is a terrible story, and don't answer the door if a goddamn clown is there.
Everyone should get a sign for Christmas this year that says no clowns.
No solicitors,
no
no
solicitors,
clowns.
no clowns, and just put it in your
Right.
door. Hey, we do also have a book club if you like what you hear and you also like psychological thrillers. We read a book every month. The book this month is All Good People Here by Ashley Flowers, another podcaster extraordinaire.
Much more popular.
She's much more
Rich
popular
one.
than we are. And obviously much more talented because she can write and podcast. And we can
do neither.
Stare at walls
Yeah.
and podcast. So we are going to meet on Tuesday, November 26th at 7:30 Central Standard Time.
Yeah.
We will meet on Zoom, I think, this time. And Shauna from Canada is our book club savior. And
Yes. She is the only reason we are capable of functioning.
And we love her. So thanks, Shauna. We'll see you all there. We're still working on getting McCracken posts and set up. Now that it's getting the holidays, it's going to get kind of busy. So we'll see if we can throw out some dates and one of them will stick.
Right.
So thank you. Again, follow us. Join our Facebook group. We'd love to have you in Patreon and join our book club as well.
Okay.
Bye.